Act 35, Existential Crisis.
When the mirror cracks and the mask slips, let the cards reveal who you are without the roles you've outgrown. And your cards are the Tower, the Six of Cups, and the High Priestess.
Picture yourself staring into the mirror, expecting familiarity, but instead, you meet a version of you that feels both distant and deeply known. It's not a ghost, it's not a dream. It's your shadow, the parts you've buried to survive, the anger you swallowed, the desires you denied, the child you left behind. She's been waiting, hidden beneath years of people pleasing, perfectionism, and pain. You see, the tower didn't just collapse your world, it cracked your mask. And now, face to face with your truth, the high priestess within begins to whisper, "You are not broken, you are becoming." This is the crisis, this is the reckoning. But buried in the rubble is the key to wholeness. Hello, Sharnice. Leave me alone. You called me into being. Ego couldn't shield you from this work anymore. What work? Conjoining me with the we. What does that even mean? That it's time for you to face what you've denied for a long time. The weight of this work comes from the generations that came before you. It was placed on your shoulders for you to become the generational healer. Why me though? I have shut the door on that life. Nothing from my past has held me back. You see me. No dreams have been deferred. Yet here you are, relishing in the woe is me. If this isn't a little existential kink. Fuck you. Don't be so sensitive. You're operating in the flesh. I don't blame you for that. But stop resisting. I am not resisting. I'm literally reacting to what is happening to me right now. Really? Is this why you keep repeating cycles? Inviting negativity into your world in the form of men, self-limiting beliefs, anxiety, and health scares? What? Bad shit happens to everyone. I agree. But yours is cyclical. Break the cycle. Why do you keep speaking as if I'm this lost child with no understanding of who I am? Because you are that lost child, and you have no idea who you are and why you're here. Because you won't face me or your past. Are you finally ready? No. This feels like an unnecessary excavation of a life that has already happened. I leveled up in every way, so there's no need to go back. I'm not asking you to go back. I'm asking you to move forward. It is you that is still holding on to the conditions of your past. I'm just here to make you face it. I don't need to face anything. I've buried that shit for a reason. Is it buried though? Or simply manifesting in ways that makes you angry and ashamed? Most people couldn't have survived what you've been through. Give yourself grace. You didn't have the tools to cope, but because you went through it, you're well versed in the darkness, which makes you such a powerful holder of the light. You can't hold light the way that you do if you haven't experienced tremendous darkness. So why are you trying to bring me back to what I've already survived? Because you only survived it. You didn't heal it. Why does everything have to be so damn hard? When will life give me a break? Please ask God, the universe, whoever, to take me off the strongest soldiers list. Well, you asked for this. Even before you incarnated in human form, this was the experience you wanted and needed to evolve your spirit. Life without contrast would not have given you the tools you need for evolution. Your purpose is greater than you realize. Well, what is it then? Save me the suspense. Now, where's the fun in that? This isn't fun. It is, and can be, when you step out of your neatly constructed plan of what everyone else told you your life should be. Deconstruct the walls that you've built and come take a walk with me on the dark side. What if they judge me for sharing this? A lot of people are impacted by my story. You've said it. A lot of people are impacted. But I challenge you to think of this from a different perspective. Your story heals more than it reveals. Worry is just another form of fear. And fear, well, that's just false evidence appearing real. An illusion, if you will. Step out of the matrix and just be you. Uninhibited, raw, emotional, sensitive. You don't always have to be strong, Sharnice. Everything can't be love and light. Now come, let's go heal. I stepped into 35 on a high. Even in a pandemic, I was at my personal best. Coming off a very successful entrepreneurial launch, money in the bank, my son doing well, I was feeling myself. Not only that, my light was on. Everyone wanted a part or a piece of me. For the first time in my life, I didn't have to worry about a boyfriend or a man holding me back. I gave in to taboo things that I've been told I shouldn't be doing. It exhilarated me. I was literally on a high. I was outside even when outside was closed because nobody puts baby in the corner. Especially not some damn bug. In a lot of ways, having a man gave me an excuse to be good. Without one, I lived, and I fucking loved it. I was terrifyingly turned on by my behavior. I've always imagined this version of me, but I never got to explore her. I was finally living for me and in my villain era. I deserved this. All my life I've been told to be quiet, stay in my place. I talk too much. You're too ambitious. You're too sexual, too angry, too black, blah, blah, blah. I internalized these comments from childhood well into my mid-30s, and I was done being who and what everyone wanted me to be. What I didn't realize is those comments shaped who I became and ultimately created my shadow. My repressed ambition became drive. My suppressed anger became my passion. The confidence I was told to deny turned into my true self-worth, and it fueled me. I was a fucking magician transmuting every bad thing that happened to me into a positive. Or at least I thought I was. On Christmas morning 2020, I woke up with some serious pain in my left boob. It started as a mere annoyance, and then it began to throb. When I went to investigate it, I found a lump. Instantly, fear gripped me. Every woman that has ever had the experience of feeling a lump understands the instant terror and dread that comes over you as you wonder, is it cancer? I've always had large, dense breasts, so an occasional lumpy spot was not abnormal. This wasn't that. This was a hard lump that hurt to the touch. Anyone that knows me knows I am a hypochondriac. I rushed my ass to the doctor so fast, yet they offered no clarity. It took 2 agonizing months to diagnose. I had an extremely rare illness that localized to my breast. So rare that Fewer than 1% of the global population had ever experienced it. Over 6 months, I endured intravenous treatment, oral drugs, and weekly nurse visits that wreaked havoc on my body. This was by far the most harrowing experience I ever had. The drug side effects were so bad, most days I could barely get out of bed. I had reached my dark night of the soul moment. Rock fucking bottom. I cried every day. I was angry, confused, frustrated, and concerned. I felt like a test subject. Like, where did the shit even come from? How did I get it? Why me? I had a total breakdown. And at that moment, I had to face myself. I was alone. I told no one this was even happening to me for months. What could I even say? I was terrified. My mom just died 5 years prior. My brother suffered a traumatic brain injury. And here I am, next in line in every way, with a rare health scare that threatened my life. I found myself yelling and pleading with God again. Like, why? 333. I was tired of this repeating pattern within my family. Is it a hex? A curse? I wallowed in misery for months. Then one of my friends came through. It was like she felt me drowning and God sent her my way because I was losing my fucking mind. She asked me if I wanted to do tarot professionally. I've always dabbled with tarot and the occult. I've been otherworldly most of my life. I could never explain it, but I was always drawn to mysticism. I used to do tarot for fun and to help provide guidance for friends and family. I never thought I'd do something like this professionally. When she asked, I felt a sense of fraud washing over me. Was I really a reader psychic, or was I just good at picking up context clues and interpreting them well? I never had a bad tarot read for anyone before this, so it was an intrusive thought formed by my ego, because this felt too out of the norm. Before I could protest, I heard me say yes. I needed the distraction and something to channel my focus into outside of my own wounds. About a week later, I met a ray of sunshine that had just opened his new shop in Salem, and he needed some readers. He asked me to do a reading for his business partner as an interview. I never did a reading on Zoom before, but this was still pandemic time, so everyone was being careful. I gave her a reading, and I knew in that moment I was legit. I didn't know this woman from a hole in the wall, yet I saw her life. I could picture it, and all my thoughts were confirmed by the cards. I got the gig, and I loved every moment of being in Salem. I had found my tribe, and I wasn't even looking. I felt free to be me, all of me. The people I met and read for were either going through or experiencing traumas I had navigated in my life, and the roadmap to resolution was so clear to me. I couldn't offer them solace and advice from the divine because it was recognizable. But most importantly, I was being guided by my inner light. I was showing up as all of me, light and dark, and to have that reflected back to you is not only refreshing, but healing. I went on to do lots of reading that summer. Despite being sick, I felt good. I was helping people, and without them knowing, they helped me. By my 36th birthday, I was removing the PICC line from my arm. By that October, I was fully healed. When I think back on where this mystery illness came from, I traced it back to swimming in the cenotes of Tulum, Mexico earlier that December. The cenotes are sacred waters that were used by the Mayans for sacrificial offerings. I didn't know that tidbit at the time, but the water carried a palpable emotional charge. Given the ritualistic nature of the space, we were required to pray before we went into this body of water. I prayed, and as I listened, I became emotional. I can't tell you why I was so emotional, but I feel like I was being called to heal. I unknowingly underwent a spiritual sacrifice, shedding the version of myself I had long avoided confronting. While it wasn't my intent, God knew I couldn't hide the ghost anymore. I had to face it, and the only way to get my attention was to show up in the form of a health scare. I was going through a journey of individuation, which required me to become a fully realized individual, integrating all the aspects of self that have been denied, looking myself in the mirror and not turning away because for once, I was ready to embrace my true self and in turn, change my world. My struggle was the setup, not a setback. I had to break down to get to the breakthrough. God sure does have a sense of humor.